My stepmother erased me from every family photo, convinced she had deleted every trace of my existence from our family's history. She never expected the hidden truth to be revealed on the memorial screen in front of every relative, exposing every lie she had told for years. The first time I realized I was disappearing wasn't because someone forgot my birthday. It was because I noticed something missing from the family photo hanging over the fireplace. Me. At first, I thought I remembered it wrong. I stood there staring at the smiling faces, my father, my stepmother Linda, my younger stepbrother Ethan, and Grandma Rose. I knew I had been standing beside my dad when that picture was taken, but somehow I wasn't there anymore. Funny, isn't it? Linda said with a smile as she walked past me. I looked at her, expecting my father to laugh and say she was joking. He didn't. He simply looked away. That moment hurt more than I could ever explain. After my mother passed away when I was 11, my father remarried Linda within 2 years. She never screamed, she never hit me, she simply erased me. Every photo, every family vacation, every holiday card, every story told at dinner. Eventually, it became as if I had never existed. Whenever relatives asked where I was in old pictures, Linda always smiled. Oh, the photographer made a mistake, or he wasn't feeling well that day. The lies became easier over time. My father never corrected her. I graduated high school with honors. Neither of them came. I earned a scholarship and moved across the country. No phone calls, no birthday wishes, nothing. Eventually, I stopped expecting anything. I built a life in Seattle. I became a documentary filmmaker, telling stories about forgotten people, the homeless, abandoned veterans, children in foster care. Maybe I understood them because I had spent years feeling invisible myself. Then, one rainy Tuesday morning, I received a phone call I never expected. Grandma Rose had died. She was the only person in my family who had secretly stayed in touch. Every Christmas, she mailed me handwritten letters. Every birthday, she called. Every conversation ended the same way. One day, sweetheart, the truth always finds daylight. I never fully understood what she meant until after her funeral. The memorial service was held at the old community center where she had volunteered for decades. More than 200 people filled the room: family, neighbors, friends, church members. At the front stood a massive projector screen. Linda greeted everyone like the perfect grieving widow. She hugged people dramatically. She cried on command. She even thanked everyone for supporting our beautiful family. Beautiful. That word almost made me laugh. Near the end of the ceremony, Grandma's attorney walked to the microphone. "There is one final request from Rose Walker," he announced. "The slideshow you've already seen isn't the one she prepared." The room grew quiet. Linda frowned. "What?" The attorney handed a small flash drive to the technician. "My client instructed me to make certain this version was shown after everyone had gathered." The lights dimmed. The first photograph appeared. It was an old family picture, except this time I was standing right beside my father. The audience murmured. Another photo appeared. Christmas morning. There I was again. Another. Disney World. Me. Camping. Me. Birthday parties. Me. Dozens. Hundreds. Pictures nobody in the room had ever seen before. Then another screen appeared. Before. After. Original photo. Edited photo. Original. Edited. Original. Edited. Every single image showed exactly how Linda had digitally removed me over the years. Gasps echoed through the room. People turned toward Linda. Her face lost every bit of color. Then Grandma's recorded voice filled the speakers. "If you're watching this, I'm no longer here to defend my grandson." Silence. I kept copies of every original photograph because I knew one day someone would try to rewriting our family's history. People looked around in disbelief. Grandma continued. "Linda believed deleting a child from pictures would eventually make everyone forget he ever belonged." Tears burned my eyes. I refused to let that happen. The slideshow continued. Videos I'd never seen. Home movies. Dad teaching me to ride a bike. Mom laughing beside me. Grandma holding my hand after my mother's funeral. The audience wasn't just seeing pictures. They were watching proof. Proof that I had always belonged. Then came the final recording. Grandma looked directly into the camera. "If my son is watching this..." My father froze. "You failed your firstborn." The room became painfully still. "You weren't weak because your wife controlled you. You were weak because every day you chose silence." My father's shoulders collapsed. Grandma wasn't finished. "I forgive you, but forgiveness does not erase responsibility." Then she looked toward the camera as if speaking directly to me. "And to my grandson, you were never invisible. You were loved." I couldn't stop crying. Neither could half the audience. Even Ethan looked stunned. After the lights came back on, nobody applauded. Nobody moved. Linda suddenly stood. "This is manipulation," she shouted. "Those pictures were edited." Before anyone could answer, the attorney calmly opened several storage boxes. Inside were hundreds of original printed photographs, each one professionally dated decades earlier, impossible to fake. He also produced hard drives containing thousands of untouched digital files. Linda's excuse collapsed instantly. One of my aunts slowly stood. "You lied to all of us." Another relative whispered, "My God." My father walked towards me, for the first time in nearly 15 years. "I don't deserve forgiveness," he said quietly. "No," I answered honestly. "You don't." He nodded. "I know." There wasn't anger in his eyes anymore, only regret. Real regret. Linda tried leaving before the reception ended. Several relatives stopped speaking to her. Others walked away without saying a word. No dramatic shouting, no movie-style confrontation, just silence. Sometimes silence says more than screaming ever could. Weeks later, Grandma's will was read. She hadn't left me millions. She left me something far more valuable. Every original family photograph, every family letter, every home movie, every journal she'd written over 25 years, and one handwritten note. Never let anyone convince you that your absence makes their story true. The truth survives because someone chooses to protect it. I framed that note. Months later, I finished a documentary called The Missing Child. It wasn't just about me. It was about every person who had ever been made to feel invisible by their own family. The film reached millions of viewers. Thousands wrote to me. "I thought I was the only one. You told my story. Thank you for reminding me I mattered." Those messages healed something inside me. As for my father, he wrote me letters every month, not asking for forgiveness, not making excuses, simply accepting responsibility. Sometimes that's the most honest apology a person can give. Linda eventually moved away. No one talked much about her anymore. Ironically, the woman who spent years trying to erase me became the one everyone slowly forgot. Today, every original family photograph hangs proudly on the walls of my home. I'm smiling in every single one. Not because my childhood was perfect, but because those pictures remind me of something no one can ever delete again: the truth. If you've ever been made to feel invisible by your own family or your own story, share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear how you found your way back to the truth.